Boom! Welcome back to another episode of Sales Ramble TV, episode 13. Today, we'll chat about the high-level mindsets that made me a top performer in my first years of sales. But before we dive in, right, as you can see, Chance will not be a part of this episode. He is currently sick, he broke a leg, he's laying in bed, he's coughing up blood, all the bad stuff, right? Maybe not coughing up blood, that's a bit extreme, my bad. But he's not able to be on this call. So rather than not releasing an episode to our lovely supporters, I'm going to make this and deliver as much value as I possibly can. But the purpose of this training, like I said, is go over high level mindsets that made me a top performer in my first years of sales. This will be high level mindsets of a high performing individual. So you can, go from where you are to where you ultimately want to be. So number one is having confidence, right? The first mindset is having confidence, believing in yourself, which sounds incredibly simple. Let me explain. Looking back now, right, for you, if you have followed my journey, when I first got out of high school, I started a company. After almost a year, that company crashed. I knew I wanted to learn in-depth sales because, well, that was why my first company failed in the first place. I didn't know how to sell. So when I moved over to sales, I didn't have the best looking track record. I was 19 and the only job that I've ever done was my own business, which, I could not sell to even keep me alive or even keep the company afloat. So who would ever want to hire me, right? But that's where believing in yourselves comes in. It is so easy to think that way. Who would ever want to hire me and hide behind that fear of failure and never try again? That's where believing in yourself comes in. Let me explain more. So going deeper on this subject, right? Like you can't sell, because pretty much in sales, we're selling someone on hiring us. Like you can't sell somebody else on the experience and the track record that you don't have. It is common sense. You can't sell something that you don't have. Unless it's a scam or unless it's like a con, which we're not doing. I'm not a scam. But what did I have, right? Because that was the main reason why I was hired, right? That was because of confidence. Not confidence in terms of, hey, I got experience and track record backing me up saying, with a sign, hey, I can sell, right? That wasn't me. I had confidence knowing when I have the right guidance, I am an absolute unit and I am unstoppable, right? I sold myself with the traits I carried. I do not shy away from uncomfortable situations. I can handle pressure. I have tons of curiosity. I have the willingness to learn. I showed sign of being coachable, just to name a few of them. So I had confidence in my own ability to learn, adapt, and execute, and that was how I showed up interviewing, right? If I don't believe in my own abilities, no one else will. There are also so many tiny signs where confidence plays a role, right? In my first ever, because I was, transitioning to being a closer, and if you have English as your second or third language like I do, I remember I used to warn my prospects that my English sucks. Some words coming off wrong, some pronunciations that suck, some questions coming off wrong, right? Like the first 30 seconds of a call. And I made him visually uncomfortable for my own comfort. Do you know how fucked that sounds, right? Like they are, at the end of the day, they are not here for me. I am here for them. So instead of like a warning sign, just make it something fun. Same thing. You don't need to tell everyone that you are a new guy, that you are a new advisor in a role, because it doesn't matter. I've met with people that have 2-3 years in sales and they are still saying, hey, I'm new. No, you're not new. You're not new. But just pack it all up and throw it out in the trash, right? Mindset number 2. That might not be a mindset, but a step that I'm telling you to do, right? Is be very clear on your vision. And if you are in remote sales, because I know that many of you are, company criteria, right? Looking back, 2021, 23rd of January, I have the exact copy and words that I used on who I wanted to become, the entrepreneur I wanted to sell for, the impact, the timeline, the money I want to make. And I wrote, this is quote, this is 100% a path to become a closer. Now, 5 months later, I achieved everything I wrote down on that piece of paper, and the company started to train me to become a closer. Right? Like, when I actually sat down and I wrote down this vision 5 months before I achieved everything, I didn't have a position at all. I was completely new, no position at all, and I was just learning about navigating this place, right? And keep in mind, right, I don't create a vision to just create a vision, leave it somewhere else and have it collecting dust particles in just a corner, right? I create a vision to work to become that person that achieves all of what I've wrote down. I work to become that person through a combination of daily habits, routines, and just a shifting mindset overall. Now, I know for a lot of people, hearing visualization, hearing creating a vision, hearing vision board, hearing all of this stuff may believe that visualization is woo-woo, spiritual crap, it's not real, right? I'm not placed here to convince you otherwise, or prove you otherwise. I believe there will be a point in time where people break through their own shell of armor of limiting beliefs, whether you can or cannot alter reality through visualization, right? It was not until, if I look back again, it was not until someone identical to me, like literally, he is in his 40s right now, he's starting a family, he has 2 daughters, like talks like me, walk like me, act like me, same background, like ultimately made it to where I wanted to be, where my limiting beliefs said, damn, if he can do it, why shouldn't I? What's holding me back from achieving what he has done? And having that conversation with someone else, that may be difficult to find, but you just gotta trust the process, man. I came across somebody so close to me that he's like my second father right now, but not getting emotional, but it just helped me shift my thinking to what is real and what is not real. Moving on to number 3, which hits my heart in a different way, right? Because you need to get angry. If you reflect on your life and you're stuck at the same obstacles, same challenges, and same problems you had months or even years ago, and you're still in that place that is making you miserable, unhappy, and unsatisfied, you need to get fucking angry and get out of that hell. It can be a 9 to 5, it can be, a slave to the system, it can be, being burnt out, or you invested in a sales guru and not made your money back. At the end of the day, you need to get angry, because no one, absolutely no one, will come to your house, pick you up, and glue together all the pieces and save you, right? You are in control. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Yes, there might be some roadblocks, there might be some speed bumps along the way, but how bad do you want it? The roadblocks and speed bumps shouldn't even matter, because if it's just a speed bump, you'll come across that and you'll go directly for your destination, right? We often talk about billionaires putting on their pants, just like we do, right? That's a common thing we say. So why is that they are widely successful, and yet we are at a position that is making us unsatisfied for several of months? Think about that. I think about that a lot, right? So in my mind or thought, he or she knows something that I don't. They act differently than I do. They think differently than I do. They approach problems and finding solutions differently than I do. And that list just goes on. Their resourcefulness is a big thing. They're more resourceful than I am, right? End of day, why is this person who is as capable of doing like I am, and I don't have the luxury of choice? I don't have the choice to live wherever I want because I'm limited by the finances. I'm limited by, having resources. I can't travel wherever I want. I can't pick any house when I want to live. So, you just have to get angry and get after whatever you want, right? I failed my company. I went a year and failed my company. I wasted an entire year trying to build something that eventually freaking crashed. Safe to say, I got angry and I just went ham at it. It's a different approach when you get into that headspace. Why is this person who is as capable of doing like I am, and yet I'm not where I want to be? Moving on to number 4, which I think is a big one. Radical personal responsibility. Now, it might just be a trait, but I'm going to format this so it becomes a mindset you can execute on. So I'm going back to my first years of sales, right? On what accelerated my process. And this is just like one value I carried that allowed me to grow faster than everyone else on the same campaign, right? And the way I have defined personal responsibility or ownership, whatever word you want to put it, have changed throughout the year. But I'm gonna bring it up and read it to you. Here's the page. My results are mine alone. It is a byproduct of my skills and actions. Remember not to blame others because the one consistent factor in everything is myself. Consume that in. Replay this video and watch it again, right? Having that mindset in various ways has helped, right? But when we don't and shit hits the fan, a common reaction is that we're looking at every external process than ourselves. The leads are bad. The marketing sucks. It's bad marketing. The process is messed up. The process is bad, right? The business owner don't know how to be a business owner. The manager does not know how to manage, right? And we can get really silly and creative when it comes to shifting the blame. It's pretty much what we're doing. We're shifting the blame. I would rather start looking at my skills and action. What did I do? Where can I improve? Here is the outcome, but we want to get over here. Where is that gap? Did I come off too strong? Do I need more certainty? Am I missing the push and pull dynamic that causes the person to not show up for the next call? Where is that gap? I look at my skills and actions. I ask the manager to, review a call with me, check out what's happening. I, hire a sales coach, see if he can, help me work this out so I can improve. So I can prevent that from happening ever again. So I can set more qualified calls, right? We look at the process when everything happens. We look at the process and we see where can we take ownership. And obviously there will be, times and ways, just like, Chance have, told many times, that there will be times where the marketing really sucks, right? There will be times. But don't start with that. Start with yourself. Where can you improve? The marketing guys for sure are, looking at the same thing, or I hope they do. Where can I improve before I shift the blame to the sales guys? It's becoming this back and forth, but look at your skills and actions. What can you improve? Where is the gap? What am I missing? Right? And this mindset and dropping your ego will get you a long way. Right? The top performers, right? I'm not going to drop any names, but the top performers I have spoken with that are making anywhere from $40,000 per month to 60,000 per month, not per year. That's like a average guy, 9 to 5 income annually, but they're making it monthly. At that high level, they still focus on improvement, right? Like the reason they have gotten so good so quick is that they know their setbacks. They know where and what they need to get better at, so they can prevent whatever causes this hurdle to not happen anymore, right? And us moving on to number 5, mindset number 5. Very simple. Take action, guys. Take massive amount of action. You can have the confidence, you can have the vision, you can have the ownership, you can have the skill set, you can have the deep desire. But if you don't challenge yourself enough to take action, these things don't matter. It don't matter, right? If you don't take the amount of action needed, you will not get to where you ultimately want to be. It is the one thing that can get you past everything in life, and that's taking action. To give context as well, I'm a part of many groups. I'm a part of many masterminds. I like to invest in myself. I meet a lot of students. I meet a lot of mentees. I am a mentee in many, many groups, right? They're reading article to article on how to sell effectively, how to network effectively, how to make good connections effectively. Like, do you want to just continue reading article on article about getting better? Or do you want to actually go out there and do it and learn from your mistakes, right? Like, we're getting so much fear about maybe I can mess up and, it's gonna cause this whole thing that I, have to deal with. And, we're so like scared about making a mistake, but we don't realize that the most successful people are making tons of mistakes quick so they can learn from it, where they can ultimately do the right things that they have learned and, thrive from there. Because the first thing, right? And this is something you'll learn along the way or from me telling you right now. And that is, you don't want to mimic other people. You want to learn and make it make sense in your brain. Make it make sense in how you operate, how you work, how you think. If you're new, right? If you're new, because every article, like I mentioned, is just a framework on how someone else made it work for them. Now, if you have some skin in the game, you need to pick apart those principles and make it work for you. That's where you get good results to greater results, right? If you're new, I do recommend that you follow a framework. I'm not saying, hey, just, make yourself, expose yourself and just creating your own thing right off the bat, right? Because if we are going in 8 different directions and all those 8 different directions are all wrong directions, we're not, making any progress either way, but we're making tons of mistakes where we can pull back and eventually learn from them either way. But I'm going to stop at 5. I have 3 other points to go through, but I'm seeing this video gets rather long. But before I go on for like another 20 minutes, that's it for now. I wanted to give a high level overview on like mindsets that made me to who I am. That's, I came into a company, started to crush records, and these are pretty much the 5 points that changed it for me, especially for personal responsibility. I, met with my sales team lead once a week, and I met him privately once a week because I was so eager to learn. And that was the reason I broke every single record in my second month, right? But when you nail all of these together with the mentality, when you nail all of these mindsets with the mentality of a business owner rather than an employee, and this is especially for people in remote selling, right? If you're able to think like an entrepreneur than an employee, because we're contracted sales reps, we're not employed, with these mindsets and focusing on becoming a leader, you'll have quite a bright future in remote sales. And before I hop off, Chance is currently creating a video for you guys. I know he's sick. He's gonna make one. But he's creating a video on the 3 easy steps to make $10,000 per month. And it's rather 3 simple steps. It's not easy. It's simple steps to understand where you can make $10,000 a month. Making that amount of money in any industry will not be easy at all. I mean, you may classify some things as easy, but I don't think this one is easy. I think this one is simple to understand, and once you hit all those 3 steps, that is very likely possible for you. But DM me the word sales in my Facebook or my Instagram if you want to have access to that video as soon as it's released, and I'll send it over to you. And enjoy the value. This was the end of episode 13. I've enjoyed rambling. I've enjoyed putting this together. Maybe this will be another theme of Sales Ramble TV. Sales Ramble TV, where we make individual videos to just add a lot of value. Maybe we up the videos to 2 episodes per week. That would be a dope change, but that's a lot of work as well. Write it in comments, like if you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment the word. If we are already connected on Facebook, comment the word sales, what you want to see from us more, and I'll see you in the next one.